The 1980s turned music into a visual and global force. With synths, MTV, stadium pop, and genre crossover, the decade redefined celebrity and youth identity. Welcome back to Echoes Through Time. I'm Vinnie, your host. Today we step into the 1980s, a decade where music became bigger, brighter, and more visual than ever before. The 1980s were not subtle, they were bold. This was the decade of synthesizers, drum machines, stadium choruses, iconic fashion, and the rise of music television. Sound and image merged in a completely new way, changing how people listen to music and consume culture itself. MTV was one of the defining forces of the decade. Music videos transformed artists into visual stars. It was no longer enough to sound good. You had to look unforgettable. A song could now come with a whole world attached to it: clothes, choreography, attitude, and story. Pop became global in the 1980s. Artists like Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince, Whitney Houston, and George Michael became international phenomena. Their music crossed borders, generations, and genres. Technology also reshaped the sound of the decade. Synth pop, electronic production, and digital recording gave music a polished, futuristic edge. Some people saw this as artificial, others saw it as exciting innovation. Either way, it changed the soundscape forever. The 1980s were also a decade of powerful identity. Music gave people ways to express individuality, ambition, sexuality, rebellion, and emotion. Artists across pop, rock, R&B, new wave, hip-hop, and post-punk were exploring what it meant to stand out. Hip-hop began its major rise in the 1980s, bringing a new language, rhythm, and social perspective into mainstream culture. It emerged from lived reality, creativity, and community storytelling. It would go on to become one of the most influential musical movements in the world. The social effect of music in the 1980s was huge. Music influenced fashion, dance, language, advertising, television, and youth culture on a global scale. It shaped aspiration, sold dreams, and created icons. At the same time, the decade had its contradictions. Beneath the glamour were anxieties about politics, inequality, consumerism, and global tension. Some music embraced escapism, while other artists pushed back with emotional honesty and social commentary. That mix is what makes the 1980s fascinating. It was a decade of performance, but also of reinvention. Artists had more tools than ever before, and they used them to create worlds, not just songs. When we hear the 1980s, we hear ambition and confidence. We hear music stepping fully into the age of mass media and global identity. This has been Echoes Through Time. In our final episode, we'll explore nostalgia itself and why music from the past continues to move us so deeply. Thank you for watching and listening to our podcast. We would be truly honored to have your support, so please subscribe to our channel. Let us know what you think, which episode speaks to you most, and what other music history topics you'd like us to explore next.